You know, Captains, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the AP works just fine. So, anyway, welcome everybody to the channel. I'm your host, USS Endeavor. Welcome aboard the Tier 7 campaign reward ship for this update cycle, the Anchorage. Now, I got to be honest, I think this is going to probably be one of the top 5 cruisers that I'm going to be using going forward. We'll go into detail why. I've got a gameplay here, which oddly enough is only the second game that I've ever played in her. And the clip that you just saw against that Atlanta was in a division, and we were able to spot them with the help of a radar from the Missouri that was next to me. So all in all, I think this is a very strong ship, and let's take a look at everything, starting with the commander. So I have Victor Einstein, which if you don't have this pay to win, I guess you could call it pay to win commander, you definitely got to get it. It's very strong for the American cruiser line, especially the heavy cruisers like this one. I've got Makawa and Mimbelli as my inspirations to help with the concealment and reload, and all those are all the other perks that I'm using along with it. Now, onto the ship itself, the consumables that you have is actually pretty unique, especially for an American cruiser. You've got the sonar, which detects ships up to 4.4 kilometers, and this is probably the special thing. You can pick either the smoke generator or the defensive AA booster, but I really think that the smoke generator is the way to go, and you'll understand why here soon. And along with it, most, if not all, of the cruisers, minus one that I know of, have the repair party consumable. Onto the actual mod slots that I selected. In the first, we have Amy Systems Mod 1. Second, I have used the Propulsion Mod. And third, we're using Concealment Mod. Lastly, it's the Main Battery Mod 3, but in the gameplay that you're going to see, I actually did the Epic. I upgraded it. It is so powerful. So on to the actual ship stats themselves. The survivability is currently at 41,800 hit points with a 16% torpedo damage reduction. We'll go over the armor stats here relatively soon with some comparisons with other American cruisers as a to kind of show you what the difference is. Onto the artillery. 203 millimeter guns, just like the Baltimore, just like the Wichita, and all the other heavy American cruisers at Tier 7. But you got 12 of them. So it's the most that you have at this tier. And they slap with over 5,000 AP shell damage with a Citadel hit. And they reload in 11.4 seconds with this build. Pretty decent fire chance as well. The torpedoes, you actually get torpedoes on this thing, and they're no slouch. You got 8 of them, 4 on either side. They are midship, so they are kind of easy to take out, but they reach out to 10.5 kilometers at a pretty average to maybe a slightly above average 66 knot speed, and it's just under 20 grand a hit. So really good torpedoes. Your AA defense is, I would say, slightly above average. If you did pick the defensive AA perk, you could get a lot more out of this. The bulk of it hits at 3.1 kilometers, but they do technically start at 5. The maneuverability is not the greatest, but I wouldn't really spec into the maneuverability because you have the smoke screen. This is more of a strategic ship to place, and positioning is key to be able to get the most out of this thing. If you're open water gunning in this thing, I think you're kind of doing it wrong as a whole. The concealment, though, is pretty top-notch. Because we've spec'd into it, because of the mod slot in the third slot with the concealment mod, we've gotten this thing down to 10.4 kilometers, detectable by sea. And the detection while firing in smoke, you've got to be aware of, which is at 6.5, because you're going to be utilizing that frequently. Onto the armor. It's coated in 27 millimeters of armor, so it's really strong. Just like the Baltimore, just like the Wichita, you can bow tank 15-inch shells, which you're going to go up against quite frequently. The Citadel sits slightly above the waterline. It has a very unique Citadel, as we're going to kind of show the comparisons given this angle right here. It's got like the bulk of it right in the middle, and then it's kind of thinned out underneath each turret section. Here's a look at the Wichita. It's kind of similar. although it is more lightly armored, as you can see that it's a different color scheme. And here's the Baltimore. So it's very similar to its shape. So I kind of wanted to show the difference of those. And here's back to the Anchorage again. You can kind of see that it's actually a thicker grade armor than the other two, which is actually pretty unique. Okay, Captain, so this is the only gameplay that I have. Like I said, it's the second game I ever played in this thing, and because it's near the end of the update, you're starting to see a lot more Anchorages out there. As you can see, there's a division of the Plymouth and Anchorage on the opposing team, and I am in one, and there is another Anchorage on our team, so there's 3 of them in this match. So it's normal during the end of an update cycle. You're going to see a lot more of the campaign ships. And it's just normal because people are getting them. They're trying them out just like I am. And so that's kind of par for the course. Anyway, onto the game itself. It's a domination game mode on Trident. And what you're going to see right here at the beginning is our team doing, I don't know, just doing what I don't quite understand. You're going to see on the very right-hand side, all those ships that spawn across from Charlie are just flat out going to start turning away and abandoning Charlie almost right off the rip. I am trying to position up here behind this island and kind of see if I could take shots over the island, hopefully without getting spotted, and try to whittle down some ships here. As we do get spotted, we're going to go ahead and start backing up. I'm trying to maintain this angle. As you can see, we can get all of our shells off pretty much at that angle. We're right on the edge of doing all that. And I think that the firing angles on this ship are actually pretty decent, as this Plymouth comes out broadside, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't have AP loaded. But he ends up turning out wisely, and we would have missed anyway. This Plymouth that spawned with me, I don't understand, is bum rushing Bravo with literally no other support. He's got radar equipped, which means he doesn't have smoke at his disposal. And if you make this play at the very beginning, I mean, kudos to him for trying to get the cap, but he's a cruiser. He's not a destroyer. I think he forgot what ship he was in. He radars right at the get-go. As you can kind of see, all those ships that I was talking about are all grouped up. Guess the black hole theory that T-Bull had a long time ago still is in effect today. And there goes the Plymouth, because, yeah, who didn't see that coming? You're going to run out there. You're going to throw your ship away like that. You're going to get a good job from me. Kind of like Aaron says. If you die within the first 3 minutes of the match, or 2, you deserve a good job in the most sarcastic fashion possible. So we're already down early. We don't have Bravo. Alpha we are contesting, and if you can see on the mini-map in the upper left-hand corner, a lot of those ships on the reds are all congregating towards Alpha. So kudos to our team, along with the destroyer that's trying to take Alpha. But we're getting kind of overrun over there, which makes me question why are the rest of these ships behaving the way that they are. As you can see, our friendly Anchorage and Poltava got whacked pretty hard. So they must have turned broadside at the beginning. There's really no reason why you lose that many health points that quickly unless you're going broadside right at the beginning. Charlie is getting taken by something, and here I am, I'm pinging the map, kind of letting them know that is not the play, guys. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. The Anchorage is going to be a very difficult ship to enjoy and play consistently well if you're solo. It just is. You're going to have good games. I'm not saying you're not. As we take this cheeky shot at this very pretty much non-existent health Zeton, and we get our first kill with only 16,000 damage. But I would say this ship is best suited for division gameplay. I can't think of a better ship suited to really do well in a division other than this one right now. I mean, yeah, there are other ships out there that will do well in a division, and I'm not saying that. But for this particular ship, it's going to cater to the division crowd. If you're a support player, if you like playing with teammates like that communicate and know what the heck they're doing, this ship is going to do insanely well. It's going to be hit and miss when it comes to single solo play, as we just missed out on that kill. And I want you to pay attention to how many kills we could have potentially had. That would have been one and would have been our second. So we'll kind of tally all that up at the very, very end. Because when you're in your smoke screen like this, your smoke fire penalty is 6.5 kilometers, which is very, very good. However, if nobody's spotting for you, you can't take advantage of the low concealment. Here I am, where oddly enough, the ships that I was complaining about are actually going out there and spotting for me a little bit. I guess they kind of got the hint, and now they're starting to make their way back to Charlie. But we're kind of, even though we're ahead right now in points, I feel like we're in a slight hole because we haven't quite gotten Alpha yet. They have Charlie cap, which is the only cap right now generating points. And there we just end up losing our friendly Anchorage. Again, not quite sure what was going on there. But if you can see on the map, we still haven't been able to get. They have Charlie, and I don't dare go into Bravo because I'm not going to pull the same weird play like the Plymouth did early and get myself whacked. We've been able to conserve our health rather well. And at this point in the match, I'll be honest, I was getting really frustrated at my team because even though the ships are tied, it really feels like we're losing. Technically, we are. Points-wise, we are losing. This Hipper is a little low, and he doesn't see me or know that I'm here. So we're gonna take this shot right here, and I gotta be honest, him not knowing that this was coming, I aimed it really well and virtually wipe him off. I wish I would have gotten it, but that was an amazing example at how good this AP is. And the Hipper has really good armor. You got to angle right, but it has really good armor as we finally take him off the board. So that's technically our second kill. 3 if you wanted to count the Atlantico earlier that we missed out on. So we'll say guaranteed 2 with should have been 3. But at this point, I'm kind of fed up with my team. I've got to make something happen. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on my the largest backpack that I can fit on my back, and I'm going to shove all these blue ships in it, and I'm just going to try and carry this game because they're starting to go down. We are taking them out too, but we haven't been able to generate any points, and they're going to run away with this game if we don't start turning these caps over into our favor. Now, I also like this captain or this commander Einstein because of the fact that I have the bearing locator as well. So that's really, really strong to kind of show where other ships are. And I haven't been able to find the destroyer yet. As you can see, if you caught really quickly those shells that were coming from nowhere, well, that's the destroyer. So he's definitely over on this side. And there are torpedoes that are coming in as we have our hydro running to spot anything that's coming in, because we're really tight in this channel and we're positioned really, really well to where the Heinrich can't hit us. We were able to get shots on him. We're taking the cap back. We're stopping their points generated while we're also flipping it in our favor. And with all these islands kind of in our way, we're able to get these shots to where we can deal damage without taking any in return, which is huge. Because I really need to take this cap. 15 seconds left. I'm keeping an eye on the bearing locator. I don't want to push out here because I feel like the destroyer is going to keep peppering me with torpedoes, which, by the way, is an Ostergotland. As we finally get spotted right there by potentially the Brandenburg. But we were able to get the cap, and the Brandenburg's not focusing us. Other ships know that we're here, but thankfully nobody is repaying or returning the favor towards us. So now we have the only cap. It used to be theirs, now it's ours. We're going to start generating those points, and unfortunately my hydro is gone, and because this ship is not equipped with radar, I can't spot where this destroyer is. But I got to be honest, if the Anchorage had radar along with all of the, if you gave it radar, this ship would be so stupid as far as being overpowered. I feel like it's borderline cracked and overpowered anyway. I know there are people that are going to be like, nope, it's not. It's balanced perfectly. But this thing is insanely strong. The guns are fantastic. Torpedoes are great. the smoke and the smoke fire penalty that you get with it is very strong. It comes with a heel and a hydro. I'm finding very little about this ship that I don't like as we're pushing in here, and now I notice that Bravo is being flipped. So I know that the destroyer's in here. So the bearing locator that is right off my, kind of like my 1 o'clock position, that's where the destroyer is. So I'm pushing in here. I'm going to start contesting the cap, and I'm going to keep looking to see if he's getting off of it or not. I know he's right here tucked in this corner. As you can see, we're still contesting, and there he finally gets off of it. So I know that he's backing up. Thankfully, our concealment is low enough that the Heinrich can't see us. We're just outside that detection ring, but I've got my guns trained, just waiting for this destroyer to pop out, and as soon as he does, we're going to say hello in the most epic fashion that I can think of, as we shoot all 12 guns, waste half this guy's health, and get 9 out of 12 hits with our first salvo. I'm fully expecting torpedoes coming in, so that's why I'm kind of angled out. Shoot another 12 guns, and that's a nice tight grouping, and we get 8, incapacitating 2 things and setting them on fire. And these, like I said, these guns, even the HE is super strong, but the AP does slap. So don't sleep on that. As nobody's focusing us, and I'm sure the Ostergotland's a little frustrated at the fact that nobody on his team is actually shooting at us. And here with his this last back turret, we're gonna clean him up. So there is 3, potentially 4 that we should have had. And now we are in a perfect position to be able to take this cap. It is a 4v2 at this point, but I am not resting on that score or ship count. I played too many games as we get a double fire against that Heinrich way out there, and I have a feeling he damage conned earlier, so that's going to stick. I don't know how many he's got left, as we got a broadside Caricachole, so we're going to smoke up, and since he's being spotted, was going to throw torps, but he's not really at the right angle for that, and he's not even going in the direction that I'm wanting him to go. So we're going to do the AP, and I got to be honest, I thought we should have had that, which would have brought our total to 5. That would have been a Kraken, but now the Heinrich goes dark. He's the only one left, and like I said, those fires were burning, and well, that takes him out, which would have potentially been 6 kills, but unfortunately we only get 4. But we did a whole slew of damage, 122,000. Look at that credits. We got over 1 million credits with just shy of 3,700 base XP and a win. Finally get to take that backpack off. Whew. Got the only 2 caps for our team, along with the ships that we took out. This is a very, very strong ship, one that I am looking forward to. And captains, if you see me out there in this thing, I highly suggest you take me out quickly before I take you out. Anyway, but until that time, captains, fair winds and fair seas. It's a joy and an honor to be able to continue to bring you these videos, and I would give the Anchorage probably a strong 8 to 9 out of 10 for just how good it is, and it's an extremely good division ship. So if you haven't gotten this ship yet and you're on the fence about it, I would highly suggest and recommend getting it before it's not available for a while. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below, captains. Let me know what you want to see next. But until that time, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the USS Endeavor signing off.